When I returned from college, I was shocked to find a stranger brewing coffee in our kitchen, acting as if he owned the place. My mom had moved her new boyfriend into my late father's house, and when the truth about the property's ownership came to light, karma dealt her a harsh blow. Pulling into the driveway, I noticed an unfamiliar sedan parked in the spot where my dad, Robert, always kept his pickup. 6 months earlier, we lost him to a sudden cardiac arrest. His death shattered our family, especially since he was the epitome of vitality, working out regularly, eating healthily, and never touching cigarettes. Dad was my anchor. I assumed maybe Mom had a friend over to help with holiday chores. But when I stepped inside, there was this guy in gym shorts and a sleeveless shirt, sipping from the mug I'd gifted Dad for Father's Day, the one with cheesy jokes printed on it. He looked at ease, which made my skin crawl. Then Mom glided downstairs in a satin robe I'd never seen, introducing the man as Alan, her boyfriend who'd moved in 2 weeks prior, as casually as if she were mentioning a new appliance. I stood there, my college bag still slung over my shoulder, struggling to comprehend. When I questioned how she could bring someone into our home so soon after Dad's passing, her response floored me. She got defensive, insisting she deserved joy and that I, being young, couldn't grasp mature relationships. When I called her out for disrespecting Dad's memory, especially by letting Alan use his things, she exploded. She screamed that I was an ungrateful mistake trying to dictate her life, and I should be thankful she even allowed me to visit during school breaks. Looking back, her behavior wasn't entirely shocking. Mom had a pattern of inappropriate actions that Dad somehow endured. In high school, she'd flirt with my boyfriends whenever they came over, overly complimentary, touching their shoulders, or wearing revealing outfits. Once, when my first serious boyfriend arrived for prom, she greeted him in a tight top and shorts, insisting on photos where she stood uncomfortably close. It got so awkward I stopped inviting friends over by my final year. I also caught her texting other men multiple times. At 16, I used her phone to call Dad and saw a message from my math teacher about missing her scent. Another time, while Dad was away on business, I overheard her laughing over texts with our married neighbor about grabbing coffee. I showed Dad those messages, but he looked crushed and said adults sometimes err, and we had to keep the family intact. After the argument about Alan, I went to my room, only to find it transformed into an office. The walls were repainted, my posters gone, my bed replaced by a desk. My belongings were boxed up and relegated to the garage. My entire childhood space, 22 years of memories, had been erased in months. Alan tried to mediate, saying change is tough, but I needed to accept that this was Mom's house now, and they were building a new life. He even suggested I find my own place after graduation instead of returning home. That broke me. I stormed to the garage, grabbed what I could of my stuff and Dad's possessions, and drove to my grandparents' house. My grandparents, James, 75, and Marie, 73, welcomed me without question. Over dinner, they admitted they'd long suspected Mom's questionable behavior. Grandma shared a story from when I was 14. She dropped by unannounced and caught Mom kissing the landscaper in the backyard. When they told Dad, he pleaded with them not to tell me, wanting to shield me from pain. Mom kept texting, not to apologize but to demand I return Dad's belongings, claiming as his widow she owned everything. These weren't valuable items, just sentimental ones like his everyday watch, photo albums from our camping trips, birthday cards he'd kept, and letters he wrote me for college. They meant the world to me, nothing to her. The final straw was her message saying Alan needed the garage for his gym equipment, so I had to retrieve my trash or she'd toss it. She called me spoiled for not accepting her new happiness. I blocked her after that. My grandparents are helping me explore options, but I'm grappling with how Mom could so swiftly erase Dad's presence, replacing him like he was outdated decor. Update: One Life has a way of serving justice unexpectedly. Yesterday, Dad's best friend, Mark, 54, a real estate attorney, visited my grandparents with stunning news. 3 months before his death, Dad had quietly transferred the house's title to me, with Mark's assistance. Dad had grown suspicious of Mom's actions, especially after his doctor flagged heart concerns. He'd found hotel receipts in her purse and odd charges on their credit card, hinting at her infidelity. Knowing his family's history of heart issues, his father died at 49, his brother at 47. He wanted to secure my future. Mark brought the legal documents proving the transfer, along with a letter from Dad asking Mark to reveal this only if I needed protection. Dad hoped it wouldn't come to this, but wanted me to have a home. When Grandpa called Mom about the house, she erupted, accusing Dad of betraying her and claiming she sacrificed her youth. She was 26 when they wed for the marriage. She even accused Grandpa of fabricating the story to torment her. Interestingly, Alan vanished within hours of learning Mom didn't own the house. He packed his gym gear and left without a word. Mark uncovered that Alan had a pattern of targeting grieving widows, convincing them to sell properties or take loans, then disappearing with the cash. He'd been pushing Mom to sell the house for his absurd crypto fitness venture. My grandparents' lawyer issued Mom a 30-day eviction notice. She responded with frantic messages, accusing me of ruining her life and even contacting my college to claim I was unstable. The school dismissed her. Worse, Mark found Mom had listed Dad's prized possessions online. His heirloom watches meant for my future wedding, rare records we played together, and his grandfather's cufflinks, priced far below value for quick sales. She claimed she needed money because I was selfishly at college instead of helping her, ignoring the hefty life insurance payout she'd received. We also learned Dad had secretly paid off the mortgage with his bonuses, unbeknownst to Mom, who thought they had years of payments left. Every revelation showed Dad's efforts to protect me while Mom prioritized herself. Update 2, evicting Mom turned into a fiasco requiring police. She ignored the notice, claiming squatters' rights. She posted online about her heartless daughter making her homeless, prompting some relatives to scold me before learning the truth. When police arrived, she barricaded herself inside, blaring music and yelling about her rights. It took hours and threats of forced entry to get her to comply. Inside, we saw the extent of her destruction. Dad's cherished guitar collection, including a 1962 Fender his father gave him and the acoustic he played to lull me to sleep, was gone, sold off cheaply online. His vintage cameras, military medals, and rare books were also sold. She'd been liquidating his belongings since his funeral, meeting buyers in parking lots while I was at college, thinking she was mourning. During the eviction, Alan reappeared, claiming he'd left items behind. He suggested we could all live together, but when I refused, he admitted Mom had lied about owning the house and planning to refinance it for his business. In the attic, I found Dad's journals in a holiday decor box. They detailed years of Mom's deceit, missing money, hotel charges, and lies about her whereabouts. A month before his death, he saw her with Alan at a restaurant looking cozy. Instead of confronting her, he focused on safeguarding me. Neighbors shared more. One saw Mom with strange men at night while Dad was away. Another spotted her with Alan pre-Dad's death. Security footage Dad installed showed Mom selling his belongings in the driveway, with Alan's help, likely planning to claim they were stolen if questioned. Update 3, Mom's latest stunt was almost comical if not so infuriating. She showed up at the house, dressed in her funeral outfit, sobbing dramatically about mental distress and needing the guest room. She claimed Alan's place wasn't home and faked panic attacks. When I mentioned a restraining order, her tears vanished, and she berated me for not appreciating her sacrifices. Turns out she'd already secured a deposit on a fancy condo, confirmed by Alan's ex-wife, Karen, who warned me Mom played the victim to manipulate people. Alan dumped Mom after learning she'd lied about a non-existent inheritance from her parents, who are alive and estranged from her. Their public breakup, recorded by a cousin, went viral in our family chat. Alan calling her a liar, Mom throwing a drink at him. She then claimed maternal rights to visit the house, sending a fake legal document. Her drive-bys became frequent, with neighbors noting her car lingering outside for hours. She sent a family-wide email with hospital photos, claiming I caused her health issues, but a cousin confirmed it was a routine visit. Update 4, after burning bridges with everyone, Mom moved to Arizona, where her sister Kathy, estranged for years over an unpaid $20,000 loan, reluctantly let her stay in her guest house. Before leaving, Mom tried to claim antiques from the house with a U-Haul and hired help, but police stopped her since she couldn't prove ownership. She left cursing me, saying I'd regret this when I have kids and that Dad would be ashamed. In Dad's old office, I found a hidden compartment with a letter from 2 weeks before his death. He explained staying in the marriage to avoid a custody battle, fearing Mom's manipulative nature, especially after her treatment of prior stepchildren from a brief earlier marriage. Photos showed happier times, with notes detailing Mom's financial recklessness and lies. I'm renovating the house, undoing Mom's changes, repainting walls to Dad's favorite hues, retrieving his furniture from consignment shops, like his leather recliner I found nearby. I'm finishing my degree online to live here as Dad intended. His office is restored, with his books and record player salvaged from a pawn shop back in place. Mom's emails go to a folder I ignore. Aunt Kathy says she's already stirring trouble in Arizona, but that's not my burden. I'm focused on honoring Dad's legacy and the secure future he built for me.